All right. I made it back pretty quickly, I think. Oh, was that 30 minutes? Oh, my bad. Is anyone around still? I wonder. It says 0 viewers, but that sometimes it's lagged. I'm just putting a notification in the Discord. Oh, hey, man. I'm glad you stuck around. Let's do this. Okay. To get 4 skellies, yeah, you can run that ring. There's one ring that gives you +1. Here, I'll show you. Let me start up my game. Ring. Hollow something. This one. Hollow finger. +1 maximum skeleton. So that's the other option. And then the third option is chest pieces for Necromancer and for Acolyte can do +1 skeleton, but you don't really want to be using your your LP on your errands well for that. So yeah, I'd say either Hollow Finger or the passives. One thing I forgot to check back to the rogue build, however. One thing I wanted to check. I think, wasn't there like a idol? No. I thought there was a cooldown recovery. No. That's too bad. I thought there was something that reduced cooldown on shift. It doesn't appear to be the case. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, you could run that ring. It's really not a great ring for the build. Like, it doesn't give you much. Honestly, I would go for the Necromancer passives. Because 20 points is a lot, but 10 of those points are going towards minion health. And you need that. You need extra minion health. So it's a good investment. Okay, I want to run one more Jorah. Just to get my second dagger. And I think I'm going to go for tier 7 armor shred. So let me just do that real quick. Yeah, man. Anytime. That move speed is sweet, though. One more thing I think we can optimize on this build is I think we can actually drop attack speed. Because Shadow Cascade, we're proccing it with shift, so there's no, it's not related to attack speed at all. And then Synchronized Strike, I don't think benefits that much from attack speed. So I feel like we could really just drop attack speed from our itemization and from our passives, opening up a lot of room for different kinds of passives, you know? That mana sustain is great too. And then we'll get smoke bomb instead of decoy here. Okay, shadows. Next we'll pop 3 points in here, yeah. Look at that damage. This is solid, especially for AoE clear. The other problem is though, we still can't see the items because they frequently die behind us, the enemies. That's a little bit annoying. Yeah, this is great. This feels really smooth. I mean, it is tier 3 Sanctum, but still. This is smooth. Yeah. And we still have a bit more multipliers to go. I think I want to get at least 1 point in here. Then maybe 1 in here. Yeah, I agree. I agree. The coolness factor is definitely there. The shurikens are not working though. I need a lot more points in shift. Shift is a bit bottlenecked here. And quite frankly, I don't know where I'm going to get them from. How about this node? It's extremely mana hungry, but I feel like it will be crazy damage. Can I try it? Mana efficiency is already there. Attack speed, I already have 4 points. Maybe we don't need the area. And maybe we don't need 4 in attack speed. Okay, I'll just test it out. I'm sure I'll run out of mana, but still. Shuriken for defense. Yeah, I kind of agree. But I still need 5 of them. Because 5 of them, I think, per shuriken. So yeah. I still need to have 5 of them. Holy moly, my armor is brutal. Okay, let's do this. Yeah, that's pretty good damage. And we haven't optimized our armor shred. We have a lot of things not optimized quite yet. Ouch! We did not want to do that. Okay. Is there like a poison decoy build? Do we have tier 7 dagger with armor shred? Okay, how is it spelled? I guess it's with a U. It's so inconsistent. Here's the tier 7. Pretty bad roll though. We'll have to re-roll it. Tier 6. Ooh, this is a nice... Wow. 5 forging potential. Still, it's not going to get any better for that dagger. Maybe I need to get rid of it. This is good. Okay, I think that's all of them. All of the viable ones anyway. Oh, up here. Nothing. Okay. Yeah, I'm leaning towards getting rid of this kind of crappy one. So what we do is we do discovery. These are not bad. And then honestly, we want to re-roll these affixes because they're both really badly rolled. 252, 26, perfect. Okay. So now we do the 1 LP dagger. Are we gonna get tier 6 armor shred? Let's see. Melee physical damage is not the end of the world either, I guess. It's like a 10%, 20% damage increase. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Okay, we got the worst one. Stun chance with melee attacks. Okay, so that's pretty bad. That is pretty bad. Okay. Do we run one more just to try one of these other daggers? They're both fine. Just missing the armor shred. Yeah, we really don't have a source of armor shred, so I think... I don't know. Anyway, I think this build, like, we've proven that it's pretty good, especially in Monolith. So let's just try to run one Monolith. Let's see how far my empowered Monoliths have gone here. I'll just check a few of them, because I don't remember. This is 207, okay. This is 122. No thanks. This is gonna be 100. I feel like. Yeah, 100. 67 mana. When did I choose that? 129. $100. Okay, I haven't done very many monoliths on this character. Maybe here. 135. Did I bother doing these? $125. Yeah, it looks like 200 is gonna be the highest. That's too bad. That's not very high. We'll run it anyway. I mean, it's what we've got. It's just so time consuming to increase these corruption levels. Okay. We'll go this way. More damage on the enemies. How much HP? We have only 1200 HP. But dodge. 70% dodge, dude. 83% with the buff. Which is, you know, most of the time up. Yeah, this is very zoomy in Monolith. This feels great, yeah. Okay. So 200 is a breeze. Try one more. Give them even more damage. Yeah, that's solid. Okay, so now we can try this Wave of Darkness and see how it works exactly. Actually, do we want Armor Shred instead? We'll test it. And then in here, damage per shadow. This is the last point. That's a little bit annoying. Damage per shadow. Okay, let's see. Wait, what does that read again? Synchronized strike causes existing shadows to use... Oh, okay, so if I cast it twice... And that's not very good. Although, there's some synergy there, but... We definitely run out of mana. That's pretty cool though. But it's just not enough mana. That's fine. We'll take them out. It doesn't work the way I would have liked it to. And then we can utilize it for more damage. Or something like that. Yeah, this is great. Hey, Tester2s. Tester2s. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, thanks for joining, man. How's it going? I'm just finishing up this Dagger, or this Rogue build. And then we'll switch to Warpath Meteor. Yeah, that's like evening time for me. Okay, let's do one boss. Nice, welcome back. Let's check the damage. Oh, yeah, we are still very susceptible to one shot. Ooh. How does that hit me here? They need to fix the hitbox on that. The javelin one? Is that the one you're trying out? We really need armor shred on this build though. Holy moly. We're dishing out pure physical damage with 0 armor shred. Yeah, he got 1 stack of armor shred. That will amplify the DPS significantly. Tier 7 crit multi. How much mana does that become? 43? 54? That might be better. Easier to hit somebody with all four. Is mana still okay? MA bleed is, yeah, the craziest damage in the game. You just have to make sure your MA doesn't die. All right. Okay, let's run one of these rotting hordes. And this time try not to get caught underneath that necro breath. $52 armor shred stacks. Single target DPS is not as good as I'd like. And we're also very susceptible to one-shots, especially to damage over time. I think we need endurance for this build. What? How does that hit me? Yeah. That is annoying. Anyway. Let's, we don't really need to do that anyway. I was just testing single target. Single target is not amazing. But since we're trying to do a melee monolith farmer, I think for monolith farming, this build is perfect. We can do 300 easily. Just zipping through the map. No mana problems. And I think I'm lacking a lot in terms of itemization. Just because I think we can get a lot more out of the weapons. If we get armor shred on one of them at least. And then the other one got really unlucky with the... Yeah, with getting melee physical damage. Plus chance to ignite. The two worst ones. Void Rest tier 7, alright. Also, we're very one-shot susceptible. So either HP or endurance is what we need for the build. Like, what are we, 1200 HP? Yeah, I mean, dodge is nice, but you're still very susceptible to one-shot when you're running dodge builds. That was such a big problem in Diablo 3, if you guys remember. They had to get rid of dodge as being the main way of damage mitigation for like monks. And what was the other one? The other dexterity class. The demon hunters. They had to get rid of dexterity, and not dexterity, but like dexterity started giving armor after like 2-3 years of Diablo 3. It used to be dodge based, but it's just too squishy. too susceptible to getting hit just by one little projectile and you die. Okay. Do I have this? Yeah, I have 31 of them. It's not that amazing. I'm just going to salvage it. Tier 6 crit multi-spear. And then we'll put away the daggers. I think we can min-max this another time. I think I'll continue with it because I think it's pretty good for Monolith clearing. But otherwise we can jump into the next build. Let me just clean up all these amulets, all these idols. We might even want to put away some of the HP idols as well, in case the next build needs them. Okay. And we can utilize this skill slot as well, actually. For like a decoy. Is there something else that can amplify our damage? Like significantly amplify it? I don't know. I feel like we can get a little bit more out of this build. If this does like armor shred or something, we can pop one of these. Get the armor shred going. I don't see armor shred though. Yeah, anyway. So is everybody ready for Warpath Meteor build? I don't know if that one's gonna work out, but let's give it a shot. Let's try it out. It's gonna be Paladin. That is for sure. And I kind of wanted to test bleeding hammer throw, bleed hammer throw before I run that one, but maybe I'll run bleed hammer throw another time. Unless you guys want to try bleed hammer throw real quick for like 30 minutes just to test it out, because I'm already pretty much spec'd out perfectly for bleed. So it's like the only thing I need to do is redo the skill. So instead of javelin, we're doing hammer throw. And then I can get a sense for it, get a sense for the DPS and leave it alone. But anyway, I think it's fine. We can just do Warpath Meteors. Where's my meteor belt? Let's see. Meteor belt right here. Unfortunately, it's a lightning damage meteor belt with chance to find potions. Those are both pretty useless. But what can you do? We'll have to make do with it. So I'll save all of these right here because we kind of don't want to mess up the build. There we go, there we go, there we go. Now, if we're doing Warpath Meteor, there are two major problems that we need to address. One of them is the mana sustain. And the other one is the proc for crits. Just needs to be... Warpath is not enough, essentially. We need to find more crit procs, I think. So, first, I think the more important one is the mana sustain. So let's start despecializing here. I don't think we'll be running lunge. Yeah, I don't think we'll be running lunge. Honestly, we could use javelin for mobility. So, Warpath. This is going to be pure utility. So we just got to reduce mana cost as much as possible and get as much mana generation as possible. So we're going to be maxing out probably this node and this node. Let's start with the one over here. Whoops. Okay, 5 points. We definitely need more move speed. Volatile reversal is gonna drop the damage over time because we're doing damage on hit. And that's it. We might need the mana though. So we might, let's keep that. Yeah, let's take that out so we get more mana. Holy Aura is getting respect. We don't need throwing attack speed. We don't need throwing damage. We don't need physical damage. But we want to get Flame Burst, I think, because that's extra crit procs. It's also extra spell damage. So let's aim to get Flame Burst and probably max it out over here as well. See how the damage feels like. I think the damage is not going to be great, but that's fine. Okay. That's good. So that's Warpath, Holy Aura, Volatile Reversal. I think ideally I would run Smite Chance as well over down here. For extra procs, for crits. So I'm trying to get as many crit procs as possible. So if we can go all the way down here. And also Smite, the damage will actually help. So let's spec into Smite as well. And then we have Warpath here. Javelin, probably our mobility skill will be Javelin. Yeah, let's run Javelin. We're going to respec out of this and go Javelin. And then, yeah, I mean, worst case scenario, we can also put lunge in here for a little bit of extra mobility. But Javelin, we're just running it as a mobility skill / DPS boost. Dash to flag combo. That's what we want. Did they nerf this? 8-second cooldown, dude? That's fine. It's not ideal, but whatever. Is it 8-second cooldown with this skill? Is it not a movement skill? Somehow it's not considered to be a movement skill. Oh. Oh, it's because this does not overlap with lunge. So you can actually use both independently. So that's probably why they have it so high at cooldown. Alright, that's fine. Okay, that's good. So we're going to be proccing stuff. Now, in terms of itemization, we want to run a one-hander and shield because Paladin gets a lot of passives that give you spell damage with a shield. So we definitely are going to run a shield. And then the other problem is crit chance. We need more crit chance. So I think we gotta wear a dagger. Honestly, I think this dagger is pretty good for what we need. Farabor's Chisel. %4 crit, 40 spell damage. Unless, well, we can check the daggers that we have of that type. Rune daggers, right? Cast speed. If there is one with like tier 7 crit chance, this is melee crit chance. So it will help the Warpath crits, but not everything else. Melee attack speed is not bad though. Oh, that's a Chris. No, we want rune daggers. Nah, this is not ideal. All of them are like melee something type of damage. Unless one of them has like a little bit of cast speed. Sorry, attack speed. This one maybe? Ah, but the rolls are so bad. Crit strike multi. The other option is a sword, but they don't have % crit in the implicits. What else can give us just straight up plus critical strike chance in the weapon? These give lightning penetration. We don't care about that. Yeah, I guess we'll run this one for now, but honestly, it's not ideal. Let's try it. What kind of data science job? I lead a team of like a couple people doing modeling data work for a bank. I don't know. I don't want to be too specific. It's like it's just work, right? It's just work. Yeah, I don't think we have any other great options here. Nice. Nice. Anti-money laundering? So like fraud stuff? Yeah. Yeah. That's big these days. Lots of fraud to be caught. Okay. So we don't have any other good options for weapon. How about shields? In terms of shields, there's always Bastion of Honor. I don't know. Maybe Bastion? Rayes? I don't know. I guess we'll just throw a Bastion in there for now and just think about it later. Because honestly, there aren't that many great options that are better than Bastion. I mean, we could get a tier 7 all-res shield. I could try that, in fact. Let me find my tier 7 all-resistance shield. I have one of them exactly. Here we go. It's crazy good, too. Yeah, this is a solid shield. Block chance, reduced damage taken on block. 30 all-res. Okay. So we'll go with that. And then we're trying to proc crits, and we're working with 9% crit chance. How can we get our crit higher? We might even need to run that unique helmet. Where is it? Sorry. Where did that helm go? This one. Prismatic Gaze, 4 and 40. So now we're at 18%. Really? Really? 18%? That's not very good. But we can bump it up. I think with rings, amulet. And we need a lot of move speed too. Okay, we'll take our tier 7 move speed boots. Yeah, I have a pair right here. And then how are we doing with survivability? Armor and health are still very low. Crit strike avoid needs help. So that's gonna be the rings. Max out crit avoid. And get a bunch of crit chance, hopefully. And these ones, I checked them earlier though. Here's your tier 7. Mana Regen is a dead affix because Channeling Warpath cancels it out. Necrotic Res is at 30, so we could use a little bit of Necrotic Res. We don't need elemental res. Tier 7 crit avoid. With crit strike chance and spell damage. Yeah, this is the ring for us. Perfect. We're getting good RNG as well. I think we want to reroll here. Spell damage and crit chance are both super low. So we'll reroll affix. We'll reroll again, probably. One last time. Oh, that crit chance is not going very high. Okay, well we're out of forging potential, so we'll go with that. Yeah, this is a pretty nice ring. So now we're at 23%. We maxed out crit avoid. Poison res is doing well. Honestly, I think we're good. We don't want any more poison res. That's good enough. So next, if we can max out necrotic and get some health, get some crit chance. Maybe I'll go steal my nice crit ring from my other hero. How about this one? Sure, we'll do that one. Okay, so we got the rings figured out. Let's check the passives real quick, actually, because they have a bunch of elemental resistances in them, and I don't think we want those. So, for example, we definitely want this one, but we don't need... Actually, this is... No, this is good. We want attunement. We don't need this one, though. Not 4 points. Ah, we need 25 points. Oh, yeah, we don't need these. And we definitely want to get some spell damage with a shield. But also even necrotic resistances. We can max it doing this. Yeah, there we go. Necrotic res maxed. And a little bit of health. That's fine. 8 points unspent. I think we want a little bit of movement speed, maybe. Yeah, and then we'll take out these 8 points. Even though this is a nice one. Fire damage, because everything we're running is fire damage. Damn, I don't think I have enough points. We can take out 2 from here, because we have over max crit avoid. Now we're exactly maxed. We can probably take out a bunch. Well, how's our health? 1600. We need a bit more items that give us health. Let's get spell damage with a shield. We don't need elemental resistances though. Like, I like the attunement here, but because we're doing so well on the elemental res, they're still maxed, even when I took these points out. Let's do it in here. Okay, now we're running 46 spell damage extra from the shield. Ooh, and then we can take these ones. Yes, that's what we want. And then, you know, all of these points are good, to be honest. Like, move speed's good. Extra percent health is good. And mana, like we don't have mana as well. Maybe let's put 4 in here. And then we'll just take it out and test it out against some enemies. I don't know, it looks funny with the dagger. With the dagger and a shield. It just doesn't fit very well. Also running naked. Okay, let's get the guy some armor. I think he wants to wear some armor. This is another source of proccing crits, perhaps. But I don't think so. We don't have enough physical damage increase, I don't think. 104. Nah. Okay, let's do chest piece next. So what is good for chest piece here? I wonder. Something that gives us crit chance, but actually we do need more Warpath. Yeah, let's check the Warpath tier 7s. Tier 6, avoid damages, physical. How about this one for now? Just to get Warpath at a good spot. Yeah, because we want to get to Smite here. So we have 10 more points, 4 here. Probably a few here. And yeah, we can actually Get elemental resistance -30 because we have crazy elemental resistances. Yeah, this will work out okay. All those elemental res. It's not that bad. Physical res though. Actually, yeah, let's take this one instead. Yeah. This is better. Definitely better. Except for the elemental res, but we can fix that. It's totally okay. It took all 4 from there. Sure. Next, okay, we have just 3 items left to figure out before we test this and see if it actually spawns any meteors. Let's see. What do we check next? Maybe the relics? Ignite on hit, fire damage. Okay, these are fire damage ones. That would be nice if we can get a good fire damage relic. This one's not bad. Attunement fire damage. Void res. But maybe. Increased armor. Block chance of melee spell void. Melee attack mana cost is decent too. Just to get Warpath down to 0. Crit strike chance, physical damage. This one's not bad. Damage while channeling. Void damage, armor, void res. This one is health. +3 to smite. I don't think we need +3 to smite though. It doesn't give us much benefit. This is a little bit of res that we don't need. All right. I think let's try this one. Do we run all res while channeling here? Because I think we'll run out of mana and we'll stop channeling at some point. I suspect. Yeah, I don't know how the mana sustain on this build is going to work. Well, we could do apply frailty. How about endurance? We could use some too. Okay. Let's take one into a frailty chance. And then I think we seal the physical damage because we don't need it. We replace it with attunement, perhaps. Spell crit chance. I just want basic crit chance though. Crit strike multi. Okay, let's go attunement. But meteors don't scale with attunement. So the meteors are just for show in this build, it kind of seems like. Let's see. Let's go fire damage. Just so we scale everything. Alright. I think that's good enough here. For amulet, we could actually run the smite amulet. What's our mana pool? 200. Where's that smite amulet? One of these devotions. They're pretty good. I mean, the only problem is they're lightning damage and not fire damage. But the endurance is nice. Healing effectiveness is whatever. 1 spell damage with smite per 5 missing mana. If we have 200 mana, that's like, no, I don't think we want that one. Because we can't really manage our mana very well. We could also run an Omnis. But we already maxed our res, so we'll skip that. Is there any unique amulet we want? Do we have spell life leech? There's this silly amulet. Nah. Okay, let's check just the Exalteds. How about one of these? Fire penetration is what we need, actually. Fire penetration. Here we go. Everything else is so bad, though. Holy crap. I don't think that's worth it. That's only good for like socketing into other amulets. Spell crit. Armor shred would be good too. Here's spell crit and cold damage. Let's try that. And then we can armor shred on the last suffix. Is there anything else useful? Only health. Okay, well, apparently we ran out of luck. That's pretty cool. Okay, we just need gloves. Gloves. What would be good for gloves? Attack speed? We don't need void res, so we could actually go for crit gloves. These are not bad. Let's check these out. Tier 7 endurance with melee attack speed. That will get our endurance maxed out. A little bit of crit, not enough. Okay, now we're looking better on the crit actually, but still. I feel like we want 100% crit. Let's put these ones away. This one maybe is passable, but let me check what else we've got. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably go with this one. The other option is this one. But no attack speed. It's not bad though. Hybrid health is so nice. Let's try this one. And now for relics. We can probably run critical strike chance in relics. And health. Really, the relics are best for health. We only have 1800. That is not acceptable health. We can definitely put more health in the chest piece. And that's it, yeah, just the chest piece. Amulet, we can run more health too. It's just that's a really bad luck amulet. But let's check the relics. Shred armor won't hit with fires because it's actually solid. Okay, blind. I thought Paladin had a bunch of idols that give crit. Doesn't it? I guess not. But we can shred armor and hit with fire skills. If we just combine it with something else that's useful. Oh, there was fire damage penetration as well. Where is that fire damage penetration? Here we go. Oh, but that's only with melee attacks. No thanks. No thanks. Okay. So maybe we just run this one. And then we can run some of these idols with crit and health. Yeah, these ones like that. Crit health. We're at 65. More crit health. Yeah, okay. That's pretty good crit. And we don't even have this one here, which... We're not running lightning damage, so I think I'm okay without that. Okay. Reser max 2k HP. That is really bad. I mean, that's pretty bad. Can we increase that anyway? This build just needs so much stuff. Let's get some health going in here. Do we want percent health? Probably. All right. Yeah, okay, that's a little bit better. I think we can do better with the amulet. I don't like that amulet. How about... Since spell crit doesn't really add that much. What if we just run like pure health amulet? I should have tier 7 health somewhere. Or even fire penetration. Let's check that. Yeah, this garbage amulet. Oh, yeah. Is there any other one? We don't need res. We could use some crit chance. Yeah, okay. 2 resistances though. Yeah, this one. Here we go. We can get rid of the physical resistances. We can definitely run health. Do we have armor shred? No, we don't have enough armor shred. So one thing is going to be health. And then the other thing, I mean, we can get rid of this fizz res. And then shred armor. We don't need frailty. Yeah, armor shred. Then max the health first. Okay, we did not get a chance to max our armor shred. That's okay. Alright. We just have to move a little bit of our resistances around. Actually, I can just get lightning res or cold res from my idols. How's our armor? Ooh, the armor is not good either. Let's see, cold res. I don't have any cold res. Fine. We need it to be 105. Because we're going to take out 30 with Warpath right here. So minus 30. So we could also get it from the passives, to be honest. This one gives Elemento. Is there any other one? No. Yeah. I guess we can use this one. But I don't want to take out from these ones. Yeah, we'll just use the idols. It's fine. Stun avoidance is good. And then we can actually max out our poison. Or near max. Okay. I think we've got the items more or less sorted. Let's go max our skills out real quick. And this might be a little bit of a struggle because we're... Hey, didn't I get poison res? No, I got physical res. My bad. Somehow I'm put poison res up here. Oh no, physical res is supposed to be down here. Oops. What? No, they're all physical. So I guess I have a lot of physical res ones. So where's my poison res ones? I guess I don't have poison res idols? Okay. That's fine. So yeah. We need to level up our skills because right now we're pretty weak. So we're going to go to something that's a little bit easier. Maybe Corruption 100. Just the first one, Monolith. So here we go, Corruption 100. Is there a book somewhere? Book of Experience. There's one down here, but that's fine. We'll go up here. Okay, this build... It might spectacularly fail, so Don't judge it too much. Hey, the damage numbers are very tiny. Okay, there's some meteors up there. But they took all my mana. Am I not generating? Oh, this is with two-handed weapons. That's a major problem for the build. There we go. I misread that. And now we're struggling significantly. Okay, let me think. Is there any other way to get mana? Any other way to sustain our mana? Honestly, I don't know. This is just so necessary. But if we don't have that, all of our spell damage with the shield passives go. And we lose like 46 spell damage. What can we do here? Oh, this is actually useless as well because we're running a dagger. So our passes are really messed up. I mean, I can, but that just means we don't lose mana. We're still going to run out of mana because every meteor is going to chunk like 50 mana. With this, we can actually regain that lost mana. Otherwise, there's just no way to sustain the mana. Other than maybe volatile reversal. Let's try that, I guess. Volatile reversal every time we proc a meteor. Let's see if we can do it. Here. So now we have 0 cost. Oh, it's 1 mana cost. I guess it has to be at least 1. That sucks. 1 sec. Oh, it's already at 3. I don't need to take out 30 all res, 30 elemental res. I can just pop one more point here. It's at 1. Okay, that's fine. And then we get some smites going. Okay, let's see if this works. Here we go. Back to max mana. I mean, the meteors are so expensive though. Oh my god. They're so pricey. Yeah, it's just impossible to sustain the mana with this build. Also, it appears that I don't have life leech. Wait. Yeah, this is rough. It's really tough, man. Like there are so many requirements that you need to meet to make it work. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what else to do. We can get more smites. We can get more smites here. Okay, there we go. That's working. Get some healing. Maybe we can salvage it by pivoting away from Meteor. I think Meteor is just impossibly expensive. Like there is no way I can make Meteor work because of how much mana it costs. But maybe we can pivot into... I want to try Flame Burst real quick. Let me just test it out. Alright, let's see. Let's go. See, the smites and the flame bursts, I feel like should do alright. It's just the meteors are draining all of our mana. No, Meteor, don't do it, Meteor. I have to take the belt off. It's too much. I can't sustain it. But otherwise we can do alright, I think. Let's see here. See, we're proccing smites here and there. I don't know if they're doing enough damage though. No, I don't think they are. Also, I'm dying. A 1,000 damage? Interesting. We can get more global spell damage. Like, maybe there's something here, but it's so clunky. Does Flame Burst do anything? I haven't seen it proc yet. I've been looking, but it's just, I don't know where it is. Okay, even more spell damage. And you gotta remember that we're very much like, our skills are very low level. Okay, here we go. And maybe we can get a better belt too. I don't know, man. If we can barely do Corruption 100. So what does Flame Burst look like? Oh, okay, I think I saw it. I don't know, I'm not sure. Okay, I think all of the flame bursts happen at the same time pretty much. I guess I'm still losing mana. What's taking 3 mana at a time? Oh, I know. I think Smite costs something. 3 mana. Yeah, this is not working. Let me think. So Flame Burst, we could triple its damage. But I don't even know what damage it does right now. Because I can't really see it. Smite can do pretty decent damage. But anyways. Should we proceed on to the next one? What do you think, Chungus? What do you think? This one's a rough one, I feel like. The damage just doesn't seem to be there. Even if we take out the meteor belt, I'm still struggling. And I don't understand how I'm not getting healed. Is my smite not supposed to heal me here? Why is smite not healing me? I have 207% increased healing effectiveness. Smite should be healing me for what? 180? Plus a lot more because of attunement. Oh, I only have 1 attunement. Okay, well that helps. Yeah, I don't think this is gonna... Just... When my preliminary tests yield so little damage... That's when I feel like, okay, this is most likely not going to work. Because like, if it's like damage is okay, if it's so-so, then you can push it up with better optimization, perhaps. But when it's like 0 damage is happening here, maybe like global base crit here, that could be nice. Or fire penetration with Scepter, 20% fire pen here is good. Yeah, this is good. Like, we could make something work here. If we run Scepter, and if we can magically make 4 more points of Warpath happen, Actually, yeah, we should probably take out this one as well. Yeah, we could run Fire Pen. Also, the area for Warpath right now is very small for this specific Warpath. So we're lacking in many ways. Basically, this is like a smite build, more or less. Bam, bam. The flag is making smites happen as well. Okay. Yeah, we'll have to switch to another build. This one is not happening, I feel like. I'll finish the Monolith run. But the verdict is meh. Oh no, I'm dying. I'm dying in Corruption 100. Oh, dude. We certainly don't have sustain as well, so that's a big problem. I thought Smite would heal us a little bit, but it doesn't seem to be. Do we have something that prevents us from getting healed? Anyway, okay. This didn't work. Let me stash some of these away. And then we'll check what's next on the list. Is it Shatter Strike, do you think? Shatter Strike time? Just gonna do a little bit of cleanup. Because we just kind of took out everything. Let's go here, here. All right. And then poison res. I think I got the poison res on some other character, I think. That's the only explanation here. At least my 30 res shield saw some action. Because I need crit chance. I really need crit chance. The only other way is like if I have infinite skill points and I get a sword and then I can run crit chance here. But like this gives me spell damage and crit chance. If I run a scepter, that's not going to give me crit chance. It will give me more spell damage, but no like flat % crit chance. Do you think Scepter is better? Maybe with that helmet, but then you must run that helmet. You know, the one with 4% crit chance. Otherwise, it's absolutely impossible. These are some good rings, though. I feel like we crafted some good ones. That movement speed one. Where did it go? This one. Tier 7 crit avoid. Spell damage, crit chance, 8% move speed. Some poison res. That is very nice. Okay. An ignite. If we're running Ignite though, why would you want Meteors? Meteors, they just count as one hit of an Ignite. So then it doesn't make sense to be running Meteors, right? Maybe there's like a Warpath Ignite. I'm pretty sure there are a bunch of Warpath Ignite builds. And then you can, I don't know, cast Smite. And this applies on Ignites as well. So you can run Smite casting the occasional Ignite. Okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, Ignite is probably more viable. What about Holy Aura, these things, Flame Bursts? Yeah, they would apply some pretty good Ignites, because then you would triple the damage from this node. Yeah, I think Ignite is probably more viable, especially because of the support that the class gets in the chest pieces. I think there are some good chest pieces. Also, Time Rifts is Omega overpowered, so dot builds are better in general for Sentinel and for Sentinel in general. Okay, so we cleaned everything up. Yeah. Okay, let's do a 2-minute break, and then we'll check out what's next on the list. 2-minute bathroom break. All right, let's see what is next. Let's see if it is indeed Shatter Strike. Okay, let me switch over to the website. I have a lot of tabs going on. Okay, let's clean up some of them. And then, okay, so we did Monolith speedy runs. And what we did was we ran, what was it? VK Warpath max movement speed. And then we also ran Rogue, or I should say Blade Dancer, with 1.5 second shift cooldown. Yeah, high level description. So in terms of, yeah, I think these two successfully accomplished their purpose, speedy monolith farming in melee. And I think they're quite viable for like 300 plus corruption. I'll test them out, now make sure that's the case. And then second, Warpath Meteor. Paladin, Fire, Smite, and then a bunch of other stuff. Let's call it Paladin Fire Warpath. And unfortunately, that was not a success. Oh, we still have 0.9 unique based build. So, you know what? We did kind of do Warpath Meteor, which is a 0.9 unique based build. So maybe let's do Shatter Strike first, and then we'll go back to something 0.9, because I think we have time to do both. But somebody was looking to do Shatter Strike. Anzatoro wanted to see Shatter Strike. And I'm kind of curious about Shatter Strike as well. So maybe we'll do Shatter Strike, then we'll go back to 0.9 based unique build. Which I kind of really want to try Spellblade Spark Charges. For which one? Shatter Strike? I mean, yeah, we could go in a bunch of different routes. We could do Frostbite, or we could just do on-hit Shatter Strike. Let me switch to my Spellblade. And it's not a 100 level Spellblade, actually. It's only like 90 or so. Where is it at? 88. Level 88 Spellblade. And you can see my last attempt. I was trying to make this item work. Look at that beautiful sword. Look at that. 91% increased melee attack speed, 77% crit strike multi. I really wanted to make this build work. But it just doesn't work, man. 34% is not enough. And the attacks are kind of clunky. The melee attacks from Spellblade, a little bit slow. So unfortunately, we'll have to retire that build as well. I didn't even make any build guides because it was too weak. All right, okay. Sure, here we go. Okay. +4 to meteors. That's a pretty good item. So, what do you guys want to do? On-hit Shatter Strike or Frostbite Shatter Strike? What do you guys feel like? That's the thing, though. I don't know. What is more common? What is more common for Frostbite? For Shatter Strike. Does anybody know? This node here is pretty nice. And this one as well. 60% crit multi if you're dual wielding swords. So my guess, Corrupted Fire Lich build. The one with the ignites. Nice. I'm glad to hear that, man. Nice, nice. My guess on Shatter Strike is that Frostbite is going to be more common and probably stronger. And then on hit is going to be worse. But I could be wrong. I think if we're looking to make it legit, well, I guess let's think of it this way. To your question, dual wielding Hummingbee, is there another sword that would significantly outperform Hummingbee? Like, is there a different sword that we can push way higher with? The attack speed is really nice, like 65% attack speed. What would you want in a perfect sword? What would you want for Shatter Strike? But it would have to be Shatter Strike, Frostbite. There's no way you're gonna make anything work if it's like a on hit. It would have to be Frostbite. We could try doing a Hummingbee Frostbite build if you want. The problem is they really nerfed Hummingbee. So the movement speed you get from it is just kind of garbage. You used to be able to run like, 100, 200% move speed with crazy amounts of ward. And now it's just haste for 2 seconds. Elemental attacks deal, and this is the other problem, is like elemental attacks deal 1% increased damage. Well, I don't think that helps Frostbite. So the only benefit that we're getting is the crazy attack speed, a little bit of movement speed, and a little bit of ward gain on hit, which are not bad. Is there a different alternative though? One sec, let me see. Yeah, so right here, this node makes it look like if we run Ignite, yeah, I think Crystal Swords will either straight up outperform or do just as well. And especially once you find the right bonuses on them. Let's see. I think I want attack speed. Okay, crit multi. See, this would be good for a non-hit build. Like if we're trying to do on-hit Shatter Strike. We don't want bleed, we want ignite. Chill. Now we don't have the right crystal swords. I mean, we don't have ones with tier 7 attack speed. Maybe we have ones that do something like this, damage over time. For a Frostbite build. Is there one with Ignite? These ones up here do damage over time. Nah. Oh, this one's good. Yeah, ignite melee attack speed. That's fine. Yeah, we can try that. Do we have dual wielding? No, we don't. Okay, let's get dual wielding online. I was trying to do fire aura, but that's not happening. We don't need spell damage for a frostbite build. And we can actually lean into these ones here with the ward gained. Oh, actually, ignite chance for melee. No, it's not a fire attack. This is a little bit frustrating. That doesn't help. How about... This one is nice.
Hello, traveler.
I think I'll keep this one. The mana gain is kind of necessary for this build.
Hello, traveler.
Okay, so we really need some skills somewhere down here. Oh yeah, vitality is gonna be, I guess.
Hello, traveler.
Okay, that's good enough. Fire damage for fire. All of these are just not good. Melee ignite chance. That's what we want. If we can get all the way to the end of this Shatter Strike skill tree. I'll show you what I want to try. I want to really abuse this whiteout. Because like it is so OP. But to do that, I think we're going to need our favorite boots that reduce mana cost. Let's try it. Okay. Yeah, we'll do this one.
Hello, traveler.
Because we have no way to getting ignite otherwise. Oh, these are useless. Fire pen. Fire skill ignite chance. We could use these up here. But we're not running crit chance. But we can do armor. A little bit of mana. We're not going to be casting spells. Okay, that's redone. Wait, why am I going fire penetration? I wanted ignite plus cold penetration, cold damage. Yeah. But the freeze rate multiplier is nice too. If we're doing Shatter Strike, we want freeze rate multiplier. Let me check. There's a bunch over here. No. Right here. Freeze rate multiplier 20%. This is 15%. Yeah, we want that. This ignite chance is definitely not good enough to warrant putting 8 points in it. It's like 4 per point, 3 per point. That's garbage. Is there any other freeze rate? Let's check. Freeze rate. How about in here? Freeze rate multiplier. Yeah, okay. We'll take that. That makes it easier. We'll take out the vitality. Is there any other freeze rate? Global freeze rate multiplier. Alright. We'll take that. That's pretty high, 25%. We're trying to do Shatter Strike, Frostbite. See how high we can take it. I feel like we're a little bit stretched though. Yeah, we can definitely take out some of these here. Probably even take this out. Effective level for legendary potential? No, it's just totally different. It's a stat line attached to every single unique item, like the type of unique item. So for example, every single Orion Eye has the exact same effective level for legendary potential. Every single Foot of the Mountain has the exact same level of effective level for legendary potential. And it just dictates how likely it is to spawn with 0 LP, 2 LP, 1 LP, 3 LP. You know, it just gives it a distribution for that. So that's kind of how it works. Yeah, I don't need crit multi here. Yeah, we need to move these around a little bit. But to do that, let's take these out. Maybe we won't try to push for ignite too much. Which doesn't seem very feasible. Okay, what do we actually want in here? Definitely want attack speed. Yeah, you should have a chance for LP. I just don't know whether the tiers of the dungeon affect that, to be honest with you.
Hello, traveler.
Okay. We put 2 more here. None of these are great. I wonder if Blade Weave. It's a little bit hard to make it work. We'll just pop 2 points in here. I think that should be fine for now. Let's just test it out. We also need a second weapon though. Let's just use the hummingbird for now. Why not? Definitely not going to be running Orions. Okay. So we know what we're going to be running for the Gloves? Wow, these gloves are actually great. Hell yeah. If only I knew I had them. I might have used them for some of the other heroes. Okay, so we have 2 Frostbite Shackles. None of them have LP somehow. Okay, let's go with this one. And then I'm gonna use these boots. Extra move speed. This is the other option. Crit strike avoidance. It's not a bad option. Yeah, the belt. Yeah, the belt is a bit rare. Oh, actually, yeah, we cannot run Foot of the Mountain. I really want to run Foot of the Mountain with this build. So you can see I was trying to do something Shatter Strike related here. I have a bunch of Shatter Strike stuff. Sorry, Frostbite stuff. But it was a different Frostbite build. Maybe Barrage related, it looks like. Okay, let's check out Shatter Strike. Yeah, it's gonna chunk my mana. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe we do cold penetration with Frostbite. Well, maybe we can get cold penetration with Frostbite elsewhere. Instead of the boots. These are great boots, but if we can source cold penetration elsewhere. See right here, cold penetration with Frostbite. Can we get it on the armor? Yeah. Yeah, right here. Okay, so then this is not as essential. And we don't really need to run crazy Frostbite or rather freeze rate multipliers. Let's just try it. We'll try both. And then we have to get cold penetration with Frostbite on the chest piece though. Tier 7 right here. 54 forging potential. And a free prefix. That's pretty ideal. Crit strike avoidance is so nice though. I'm very tempted to get one of these crit strike avoidance ones. Maybe this one. It's only 20% crit strike avoid. Yeah, that's better. Okay. 29 forging potential. That's rough. That is very rough. Cold damage over time. Frostbite. We have the apply Frostbite. Plus level of Shatter Strike. Do we need? I think we do need that. Let me just respec these. That is so expensive, dude. Can we make that work? Is there any other mana cost reduction stuff? That's the only way we can make it work is with Foot of the Mountain. But even then, like, it's not great for traversing the map. I don't really love the mana regen options for Sorcerer. Sorry, for Spellblade. I feel like they should have more mana recovery in their melee abilities. 1 LP ring is not bad. 1 LP ring is, yeah, it's not bad, man. This gets respect. And then we can apply Frostbite. And here we go, shock chance. So this is 300% Frostbite chance. And we can apply more damage. Yeah, I mean, 8 versus 13. I guess it's not the end of the world. We respec this one. Actually, we just need to remove these. And now we want to do cold damage stuff. Icicles, yeah, icicles are good, I think. Oh, we don't have enough points, right? This is going away. And then we need a cold damage ability that's free. Okay, we'll just use Mana Strike. I don't think we can do anything else because we need the mana regen. Yeah, this build, it's just, there's not many ways you can go. Like, you're kind of pigeonholed in using everything. Yeah, Flame Ward is a must-have. You really get pigeonholed into a bunch of specific skills. There's no other way to run this build, unfortunately. And even this, whiteout, it's very YOLO. It's a lot of mana cost. But let's try it. Look at how it chunks my mana. Very, very nice. We'll put enchant weapon here. And then we have Mana Strike, Flame Ward. Yeah. The other problem is these don't have move speed. We gotta get ones with like LP and move speed. And then in terms of relic and amulet, should be easy to pick those. What was that brand new relic for mage? Is it any good? Is it breakable? Can we use it to break stuff? Yeah, if you can get something good in that 1 LP. So this is more tailored towards critical multi Shatter Strike. We could try that too later on. Because this looks interesting. Just a little bit lacking. Oh yeah, we were working on our chest piece as well. 1 point in Shatter Strike. And then seal that. Or we could do... cold damage over time sealed. It's not great though. Cold penetration with frostbite. I think we want to do that. Tier 5. Let's just go with that. I don't think we can seal anything. We don't have enough forging potential. Okay, that's fine. Alright. Got some crit avoid as well. Yeah, these are not the right belts and rings. Okay. What kind of relic does mage have? Did they rework them at all? Freeze rate multiplier, we don't need that anymore. I think we want elemental damage over time. I don't know. I feel like we could probably deal with the bleed stacks. There's also that shield, but that's not ideal, to be honest. The bleed reduction shield. Let me show you the one I mean. I mean, it's not amazing, actually. It's only like 13%. This one, 13% less physical damage over time taken. Yeah, that's not that much. No, that's not that much. So yeah, Exanguous. Honestly, I would even just try to run it without Exanguous and just take all the bleed stacks. If you remember, I was running the Lich build where I was stacking 100 stacks of Ignite on my Lich and surviving. You can make it happen. Even if it's like 20 bleed stacks, it's fine. Not that bad. We definitely need more chance to apply Frostbite though. What are we at? 125%? No. That's because it doesn't count these ones that are on hit with cold skills, I guess. Yeah. So that's another 109, 73. So it's like 300%. Yeah, I don't know, man. That doesn't seem like enough damage. How about when we pop this one? The damage pretty much doubles because of our frost shatter. No, what is it called? Freeze rate multiplier. Okay, let's check the relics. Does it make sense to run health regen? I don't think so. We just really need mana with this build. It is too mana hungry. But I guess it can recover it with Mana Strike pretty efficiently. So it might be okay. Let's just give it a try. What would we want in a relic? Elemental damage over time. Heads down. Cold Res gives us more ward retention. This is not bad. Tier 7 elemental damage. This is not bad either. Let's try that. Okay, how are our resistances? Oh, they're really bad. Ay. What are we running? Necrotic rats? Ooh. I guess I have not upgraded some of these blessings. Those are awful. That's probably okay. There we go. Some good endurance threshold. The problem is with endurance threshold is it does not synergize with ward actually. So I don't know if I want to be running these. Ideally I want armor instead. Yeah, those are for a different build. Okay. There are some other relics here, but frailty, elemental res. That's not bad. Cast speed and elemental damage over time. That's fine. Okay. We'll pop this one. We don't really need lightning res. What do we need instead? Poison res? Void res? Void res. Ouch. That's some bad RNG. We still need quite a bit of resistances. Honestly, I think I'm going to be running here a Omnis. Just because the resistances are so bad. Whenever your resistances are this awful. And part of that is because I have not done my blessings properly. But in cases like that, you kind of want to run an Omnis and fix your resistance problems. A good Omnis can do that. You can see now I'm close to what area I need to be. Okay, now in terms of rings, we want elemental damage over time. Same thing. Tier 7 preferably. Here we go, that's got a bunch of other stuff as well. Elemental res is low though. This one, yeah. Yeah, this is nice. We'll run one of those. We don't need lightning resistance. Necrotic, we don't need that either, but the ward retention is not bad. Yeah, this one's not bad. Okay, let's just try those out. And then there was one good belt that I have, I think. That one. How's our crit avoid? Ooh, we need 7% crit avoid. Okay. We can try without the max crit avoid for a little bit. Yeah, I have the endurance running in the static orb sorcerer build. So if you check out my static orb build guide, that one has to run endurance. It's optimal to run endurance, rather, I should say. So check that one out. You might like it if it fits your playstyle. Okay, let's do idols. I think Mage has a bunch of frostbite idols. Apply frostbound on cold. Yeah, this is great. Yeah, this one. Yep. Cold pen with frost. But yeah, we want this one as well. Do we have 300 max mana? No, we don't. I think ideally you want to be running 300 there. Let's actually get some frostbite duration as well. Maybe this one. Yeah, this one as well. But that one is quite expensive. To get that build lined up, the endurance one I mentioned, is not easy. Alright, we can't fit that. Let's get some res actually. Maybe fire res. With health. And then some void res. Other options that use endurance. I think a lot of builds use endurance kind of as like a tertiary damage reduction option. But primary damage reduction options are a bunch of other things. Endurance is not necessarily the best one to be running. Especially if you're running ward, you don't want to be running endurance. There's anti-synergy there, because endurance does not protect ward. Omnis, I mean, it's a little bit rare, but it drops from Orbis, and you end up killing a lot of Orbis over your play. So you're gonna get it eventually. But it is decently rare. It's not super common. But still, if you just farm monoliths, you're gonna get it. You just keep targeting Orbis. Preferably, I think if you go deeper into the monolith, you get better Orbis drops. I'm not 100% sure that's correct, but I'm pretty sure I saw that somewhere. One sec. Let me put away these rings. Nice. Yeah. The further you push the corruption, the better drops you get. I don't think it's special per se, but like, I mean, even just deep inside your monolith tree, and I'll show you what I mean by that. Even just doing that, it gives you better drops from Orobis still, not necessarily from anything else. Okay, let's try. Do we have everything? We have our weapons. Okay, let's do this. Let's try it out. We need to switch this to all res, I feel like. So this is 116 corruption. That's not very high. 2 Exalteds. Let's get those. So I feel like mana is going to be a problem. Yeah, I can just use up all my mana in no time. Holy crap though. Look at that mana regen. Yeah, this build is just silly, man. And I don't seem to have enough life leech. Okay, so a bunch of problems with the build that we can see. Life leech is a problem. So, passive skill tree here. Well, yeah, weird. I guess I do need more life leech somewhere. Do I have any ignite chance? No. Oh no, I have a little bit. Okay, so let's say we go... Shatter Strike. Mana efficiency. Yeah, that actually helps quite a bit. The only problem is there isn't any more damage multipliers. Oh, here we go, this one. So we pretty much have to take that one because that applies to Frostbite as well. Not this one because it says more hit damage. This one's good. Okay, probably that's enough. I don't think we'll get all the way to here. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see here. Movement speed. I don't know if this is going to be a better build than the just standard Frostbite Shatter Strike build, to be honest with you. Okay, let's keep going. It's quite spectacular though, everything's freezing. That's kind of nice. Do we need a bigger mana pool? The attack speed's great. This is pretty sweet attack speed. The damage though is a little bit low. We're only 100 corruption. Yeah, the damage feels a little bit low. What's our HP? Like 2k HP. A little bit of armor. 200 stacks of frostbite just like that though. So we're stacking a ton of frostbite. The damage is a little bit low though. Maybe we need to switch to the other boots. Let's try the other boots now. Just to see how much higher the damage is. More movement speed is also nice. I think that's better damage. Should be, right? 1200 damage. Yeah, it pretty much doubles the damage. It freezes even these big guys. Yeah, that's not bad. I think we have a lot of room to improve it though, to be honest. I think we're missing a bunch in this build. Like, the itemization can be a lot better, I feel like. Cold pen with frostbite. It's not bad. Okay, we maxed these out. Actually, is that already converted, I think? Seems like it. That's a good question. I don't actually know. I feel like it should... everybody should get their own. It's kind of like loot, so everybody should get their own loot. Right? Okay, let's try just one more maybe. The staves. I wonder how this build will do in terms of survivability later on. What do you guys think about this build? How high do you think it goes? I think some people have min-maxed this build. Probably bet more and perhaps better than I have. It's just, unfortunately, the build doesn't seem to have much room left for like trying new things out. The skills are pretty much... I don't see any other iteration other than these 5 skills. All of them offer too much to the build to swap them out. You need something to sustain mana. I don't know, maybe focus? I don't think that's any good though. Like you can see with this attack speed, sustaining mana is pretty sweet actually with mana strike. I regain it in like less than a second. Gotcha. I feel like Spellblade is a little clunky. I want it to work. I don't mind Spellblade, honestly. I really just want it to work. I definitely don't enjoy it as much as Sorcerer, though. And a lot of the melee skills are just... feel so clunky in some way. Shatter Strike is not too bad, though. Look at that. It says 138k damage per second. That sounds pretty good. Let's see what kind of ticks we get on the dummy. And keep in mind that I'm only level 88. So I get 12 more passive skill points. Which can help with the defensive side. I only have 9 int. Only 177% water retention. Yeah, that is not ideal. I kind of have to. With this build, you just kind of have to rely on ward generation. Spellblade has just so many strong ward generation passives. Getting warp. What do you mean by getting warp back? Sorry. So let's see what's that. 260k. 260k ticks is not bad. Definitely want at least 1,000,000 ticks. But we're also not super mega optimized. I think we want to drop cold penetration with frostbite. Now that we're running the boots. Because they just give crazy cold penetration with frostbite. Well, I just didn't really have another crystal sword that had the right stuff for me. Even this one is like, meh. It only has attack speed. Yeah, the weapons are not great. Like, the only problem is, ideally, I would get to this node right here and convert it Ignite to Frostbite. But that's so expensive. I need 4 points into Razor Ice. And the penetration is a little bit wasted because we already get so much penetration from Snowdrift. So I'm not sure that it's worth it to try and get Chill Flame. I don't know. Another option is to remove Whiteout. Let's see what kind of ticks we get then. I don't think it's going to be an improvement. Yeah, 130k ticks. Definitely not an improvement. You do get 2 points, but still. Better Frostbite Shackles helps a lot as well. If we can get like 1 or 2 LP in them. And they're easy to farm. Because it's the same boss that drops them. So if I were to commit to a Frostbite build, I would definitely be like running the Lich boss a bunch of times. Just to get as many shackles as I can. This build is definitely legit. But I'm a little bit missing on the itemization here. Like, itemization can be a lot better, I think. For example, chest piece. Once that we're running Snowdrift, we can take out this cold penetration with Frostbite. And try something else. These cold damage over time, I mean, they're such low rolls. It sounds nice. It sounds like it should fit in this build. It's no good. Is it worth getting the Titan Heart even though I have a lot of health regen in passives? Well, if you're playing Lich, are you running Reaper Form? If you're running Reaper Form, that removes your health regen. So don't bother getting health regen if you're running Reaper Form. Then you can run Titan Heart. But if you're not running Reaper Form, yeah, go ahead. Get the health regen that you feel like, right? Yeah. When you do the time shift with D, it wraps me to the other area and then immediately returns me to the original area. And that's weird. Are you sure you're not double clicking D? I never return to the original area. When I click D, it just warps me one time. And then if I click D again, it warps me back to where Jorah is. But sometimes Jorah chases you to the next era. Oh, it's an online bug. I'm sorry, Izali. It's an online bug, bro. It's not your fault. It double clicks on its own 50% of the time. That is brutal, dude. That is absolutely brutal. No, that's disgusting. How do you even play online, man? That feels just super painful. Honestly, I think we need tier 7 frostbite on hit. You press D and you pray. That's not how it should be. Looks like I don't have tier 6 or tier 7 apply frostbite. Here's one on the helmet. With cooldown recovery speed. Yeah, this one's pretty good. Unfortunately, it's also with mana. That's a rough bug, man. Okay, I think I'm good with the frostbite build. If somebody's really interested, we could try like a hard-hitting Shatter Strike, but I personally really like Whiteout. I think it's really cool. So I would like to just spam Whiteout. Just hit as many times as I can with Shatter Strike. I think that's fun. This is like 120 tabs, man. The next tab is costing me 1.16 million. But do keep in mind that this is in offline mode. So I've been acquiring this over the course of years and not a month since 0.9 came out. So yeah, it just keeps going up by 10k every time. It's brutal. I hope they cap it one day. Anyway, anybody want to keep trying Shatter Strike, or should we try something else? We could try the Spellblade. What do you call it? This thing right here. The Fragment of the Enigma. I'm kind of excited for Fragment of the Enigma. I think I would like to at least give it a try. I even have a 2LP one. Shatter Strike is pretty. Okay. The only other thing that could be interesting with Shatter Strike is try to make it like a hard-hitting Shatter Strike with this relic. Get as many bleed stacks as possible. Okay, let's try Fragment of the Enigma. But that's going to be a Spellblade build for me. Like, yeah, I'll show you what I'm thinking for that one. But let me just take another minute break. Just bathroom break. I'll be right back. All right. Actually, let me just drink some water real quick. All right. Okay. So we've been blasting Last Epoch for a good amount of time now. Let's just check this out. We tried Shatter Strike. We did Frostbite. And it looks very viable. Like, I have to try it out, maxing out my character, optimizing the items a little bit. The weapons are definitely a little bit sketchy. Those two swords. Like, I don't know if they're super mega optimal. It was good. I think it's good. I think I don't have it quite optimized as well as I'd like. But it's definitely viable for like at least Corruption 300. I was getting like 250k ticks on the dummy. So that means that with better optimization, I should easily be able to push it to 500k. I didn't have time to test it out on tier 4. And even Corruption, like this Spellblade is only 88 level. So I don't have it that high. Easily, I thank you, my friend. Welcome and irashaimase. Thank you for the subscription. But yeah, I think it's definitely good for Corruption. The only thing I worry about with Spellblade every single time is like all of your sustain, your ward generation is based on hitting enemies, or at least a lot of it. And that makes you susceptible. Like when you're moving in between packs, in the process of moving, you know, you're kind of potentially with lower ward. So I don't know if the defensive layers are going to be enough to push super high Corruption, but I'll definitely try it. I need to level up my Spellblade and clean up the Monolith blessings. My blessings are really bad. Thanks, man. Thank you so much. I was doing what? 200 corruption? Like I'm level 88. So I don't have very high corruption. I think I did in here. Maybe 130, I can't remember. But that's more because I don't have the right hero. I don't have everything pushed very high. So it's 115, not even 130. But that's just because I don't have a Spellblade fully leveled out. I need to level it up. But I can get the feel for it, and the feel for it is pretty good. Like, I think if I keep optimizing it, I can definitely get 500k ticks on the dummy, which is respectable. I think I would like at least 1 million. Is that feasible? I feel like it should be. But yeah, with sufficient optimization, somewhere between 500 and 1 million ticks. So that's not bad. And it's got really good AoE. Like, you're running around, you're hitting everything around you. The defensive layers are good too. So yeah, Frostbite, Shatter Strike, I think it's definitely viable for like pretty decent corruption level. But yeah, we're actually going... We've been pretty efficient. We've tried 4 different builds in something like 6 hours. So that's been pretty efficient. Now let me do one quick story time. The Spellblade videos I've seen tend to carry a lot of ward around from pack to pack. Yeah. If you can stack it up to like 2k and go to the next pack with that 2k ward, I think that's fine. I think that's just a matter of me optimizing the build a little better. I think it should be fine, the defensive side. I do think it's a good build. I just need to min-max it a little better. Anyway, I think next we'll do the, what is it called? Spellblade Spark Charges, which is 0.9 unique based build. So we're going to hit 2 with 1 stone, 2 birds with 1 stone right here. But yeah, let me take a quick break and do a little story. So I think I've mentioned it in some of my videos before, but I used to live in Japan a long time ago. So I grew up in Bulgaria. I was born in Bulgaria. We moved to Japan when I was 12. And, you know, when you think Japan, you think sushi, delicious food, all that kind of stuff. But there's a bunch of stuff you can't be prepared for. You know, everybody prepares you for the different cuisine. So you kind of go in expecting that. But there's some things that you cannot expect, especially if you're going in as like a 12-year-old kid, 12-year-old boy into a Japanese junior high school. There's something very unique over there, and I think most people are not going to have heard of it ever. But there's this thing called kancho in Japan. And what it is, it's a prank that boys pull on each other. And it's specific very much to boys. It's I've never seen a boy pull that prank on anybody else other than just other boys. And it's very prevalent there. It's kind of like if you think about, I don't know, what kind of pranks you pull in your country as kids, but you just kind of go up behind somebody when they don't see you and you slap them on the back and you're like, haha, I got you. Yeah, take that, buddy. And they laugh and they like, get you next time. I don't know, something silly like that. But in Japan, this kancho is quite different, quite unique. What they do is they go from behind you again, sneak up, they kneel down, form this with their hands. Let me show you like that. They kneel down, they take aim, and they full force shove their fingers, as you can imagine, right behind you into your butt. And as they do that, They yell "Kancho," and it's like every boy in Japan does it. It's amazing. It's like it's not something that you just run into once a year. No, it's like a weekly or even daily event. Somebody sneaks up on somebody else. They're like "Kancho," and let me tell you, man, the surprise when you get that done on you the first time you experience that in your life, you're just like, what is going on? You turn around, you look at the other kid, and you're like, should I be fighting you? Is this like, what is this? Is this like a declaration of war? No, I no longer live in Japan. I live in Canada, and I've lived in Canada for the last 20 plus years. I don't know about your Japanese colleagues, but if you go to a Japanese junior high school, the kids might pull that on you. Like I've heard of many cases of like English teachers that go in and teach English there. The kids, they just don't care, man. They're like, oh, this is hilarious. Let's get this foreigner. Let's prank the foreigner by giving them this powerful kancho. Definitely mention it to them. Don't try it. No, I know you're not going to do it to a kid, but I'm saying the kids will just go full out on you, man. They're not going to take mercy on you. They're just going to be like, all right, there's a foreigner, target acquired. So yeah, it's like, I tell you, some of you are not going to believe me. Some of you, I'm sure you're like, what are you talking about, Chris? That sounds like BS. Yo, Viper, what's going on? That sounds like BS. This kancho stuff. So let me show you. Just go to Wikipedia and you look it up. And it's the real deal, I tell you. Wait, this is some sort of city. Here we go. Kancho. There's even a diagram. Yeah, anyway, kancho is a prank performed by clasping the hands together in the shape of an imaginary gun, attempting to poke an unsuspected victim's anus, often while exclaiming, "Kancho!" Yes, perfect description. I was spot on. It is a common prank among children in East Asian countries such as Japan. Yes, number one, Japan, but also in Korea and also in China. I think it's more common in Taiwan from what I've heard. I am now a kancho historian after having lived in Japan and suffered through this many times. So, yeah, it was derived from the jutsu technique. There you go, 1,000 years of pain jutsu. Eclipx is right. How did you know this, man? Are you an expert on kancho? It sounds like you are. Okay, so you've seen it in Naruto, perhaps. Ah, there you go. But the original source, or how this came to be, is supposed to be an anime. Anyway, I don't know. It's crazy. I don't know how that works, but it doesn't feel it. That feels like BS. Every time my Japanese friends told me, "Oh, this is how it was derived. This is how it originally came to be," I was very suspicious. It just sounded like they needed an excuse to put their fingers in someone's butthole. Anyways, so yeah, that's I'm just doing a PSA here. If you have kids and if you're thinking of moving to Japan, even for a short period, if your kids are boys, please prepare them for this. Please get them ready. Please sit them down and be like, all right, you're gonna have people poking your butt all the time. I'm just preparing people. It's a story time of my time in Japan, and it's also a public service announcement for if you ever go to Japan to be ready for what you may experience, because yeah, it's a real thing. It's a daily thing in the Japanese junior high schools and elementary schools. I think in high school they start slowing down a little bit, but definitely still happens all the time. So yeah, I even had one buddy from my soccer team. One day he shows up and his fingers are all bandaged up and like, yeah, literal, yeah, more cultural shock. Yeah, There's no bigger cultural shock than that. So yeah, one of my soccer buddies from my soccer team shows up with his fingers bandaged up. I'm like, dude, what happened? What happened? How did you injure your fingers? Did you fall down playing soccer? He's like, no, I conchoed somebody too much, too hard, and true story. There has been many cases of kids getting injured going too hard with their concho technique. And this guy, I was not surprised because every time he tried to concho me, it was extreme pain. Like, he did not hold back. He was one of those jerks that when they pull pranks, they pull a little bit too hard, and they so it didn't feel too bad for him getting his fingers snapped a little bit. Let me tell you that much. But yeah, those are my tales from the wondrous country of Japan. It's much better going there as an adult. You don't get controlled all the time. Unless you go into a junior high school, then it's still a great risk. But it's not all bad. Over the months, over the years of time in Japan, eventually you develop like a sixth sense. It's called a concho sense. And you can feel it. When somebody's sneaking up behind you, you just take your hand and you put it right behind you and you block every single hit. If you get good enough at sensing people sneaking up, yeah, that's how you get there. That's how you survive Japan. You just got to work on your control sense. But anyway, other than control, Japan is a pretty great place to visit when you're a kid as well. So, yeah, I bet you they did actually go through control training. All of the ninjas have to endure control training and have to block at the exact right second. Otherwise, you get kicked out of ninja school. Yeah. Okay, let's get back into Last Epoch. That's my story time. That's my PSA. I hope I've warned people, and I hope, yeah, if you ever end up in Japan or your kid ends up in Japan, you're a little bit safer thanks to my tales. Okay, so is everybody ready for a 0.9 unique based build? I think we're just going to get started, and I don't think we can finish it because it's going to be break time soon, and we have another 3-hour stream after dinner. But let's get it started. And it's going to be Spark Charges. So first things first. That's a good plan. You have many broken fingers thanks to your efforts. But they won't be your fingers that are broken, so it's all good. Okay. So if we're running Spark Charges, those are on hit. So first things first, we got to max our crit chance. Yeah. Okay. Make a contra build. That would be the most OP build in the entire game, man. I don't want to do that to EHG. That's just not fair. That is not fair. Too OP. Unarmed judgment. That's right. That's right. Maybe we should do that as well later. Because that is also a 0.9 unique build. Okay, I don't think we're going to need these. Because we need a lot of spell damage. And these aren't going to cut it for Spark Charge. So we got to clean them up. Let's see. There we go. Oh, wow. Okay. I appear to have a lot of these arcane visages. Yeah, whatever. Fire aura is not gonna work. So... okay. Just cleaning up these old ones. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm just doing cleanup right now anyways. Thanks for the reminder though. Yeah, I'm just trying to clean up my current setup because we're going to do Spellblade Spark Charges. And none of these items are good for Spellblade Spark Charges. Pretty sure. Because these are all like a damage over time. Stuff like that. Okay. Ominous might be good. We'll keep Ominous for now. See if that's good. Although Armor Shred on amulets is very strong. Okay, Frostbite, Frostbite. Definitely don't need any more Frostbites. Frostbite, Frostbite. Frostbite. Okay. Let's see. So we're just gonna start filling out the skills as well. So in terms of skills, to me, there's only one way to run it. I mean, there's multiple ways you can run it. I shouldn't say that. But the most efficient way should be with Mana Strike. Spark Charges chance, 100%. Because there aren't very many ways you can get Spark Charge chances. Spark Charge. So I guess it doesn't count the stuff inside. So we can actually go to the website. Ornate Idols. Let's check it. Spark Charge. Is the percentage good though? So that's a decent percentage, 25, but it's only on melee hits, and also you can also only run 2 of these. Oh, thank you. Nice. There you go. You can keep optimizing it, and you'll push it up to like 10k easily. That's a really good start. 8k ward. Like you can run into any boss. Okay, so 25% spark charge times 2, that's 50%. We probably want to run that. But is there any other thing? Here's another 17% from the little ones, 3x1s. The 3x1s are actually great. Because you can actually tile 4 of them. And it's way more efficient tiling. I'm not a huge fan of the 4x1s. But it does look like I don't have very many 3x1s. So let's just take them out right now. Ooh, this one's just not even very good. Okay, it looks like I don't have very many good ones. Oh, we have that on the helmet as well. But I don't have... oh, here we go. Tier 7. Very nice. Look at that. And critical strike chance? Hell yeah. That is the perfect helmet. We only need to re-roll it because it's 35% chance. We want it at 44. But we're definitely running that helmet. Yeah. No brainer right there. In terms of idols, yeah. So in terms of idols, like you're saying, 25% times 2 is 50%. It's just not nearly enough in my mind, especially when you consider that you can get 100% right here. So what I would do is I would respec this. I mean, okay, let me just respec it all together. And just go like this. We want attack speed for more procs. And there aren't other skills, like Lightning Blast has a little bit, but it's like 30%. That's nothing. But I would still run Lightning Blast, and I'll show you why. So the way I'm thinking is Lightning Blast, Surge, but Respect. Surge going up here, Spark Charge damage per sword. So we'll go there. And then Enchant Weapon for more attack speed, that's for sure. But we gotta spec it into attack speed and lightning damage. But we don't need a melee lightning damage. We just want... I think Zap is nice. Yeah, so there you go. So I think that's our build. We're always going to be running Flame Ward. Yeah, I think that's it. So this is what I'm thinking. We're not going to be casting Lightning Blast. We are going to be proccing Lightning Blast with Surge. And it's just going to be utility. Where if you pop some of these Spark Charges over here, it's just a little bit of extra Spark Charges. But primarily we're going to be proccing Spark Charges with Mana Strike. That's what I'm thinking. This is plus lightning skills, so it helps Lightning Blast. That's nice. So yeah, like here. And we like detonate Spark Charges immediately. This is, I think, one of the other reasons you want to run it. And max out here. And also Lightning Aegis. It procs, even if we trigger it. With like Surge. Okay, so that's our skills. So we figured out our skills more or less. Yeah, Lightning Blast, Lightning Blast, Lightning Blast. Spell Lightning Damage, perfect. Where do we want to go with Mana Strike? Well, this applies Spark Charge on hit and not just on melee hit. But most of our Spark Charges are going to come from melee hits. This gives Spark Charge on Fireball. No, we're not going to do that. See if we can get the right idols. Yeah, I think this one is nice. We can run this one. Which one? This one? Fragment? Or the helmet. I really like this helmet. This one's a pretty lucky one too. 2 LP. We'll go and we'll get something for it. The only other issue you want to think about is you get double damage for Spark Charges by melee attacks. So that also skews me towards running a melee based Spark Charge build. Alright, yeah, that's pretty much the setup for skills. Okay, let's figure out the weapons, the items rather. So what about weapon? What do we want? We want attack speed. We want attack speed and we want crit chance. And spell damage. Attack speed, crit chance, spell damage. But spell crit chance, not melee crit chance. Is there a weapon that gives us that? Something like a scepter? Perhaps. Ooh, there's one problem with this helmet though. How do we get max crit? We have to run the crit helmet. We have no choice. Like there's no way to play this without the crit helmet. Rune Dagger is definitely an option. Scepters are maybe an option. Rune Dagger. Which one is the Obsidian Dagger? Oh, that one's physical damage. Rune Dagger is the one with the spell damage. Technically, swords can have like spell damage in the prefix, but like I feel like it's. Oh, wait a minute. There was something to do with swords over here, wasn't there? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't think we can run this because I don't think we're going to be running swords. And also, so here's how I decide Rune Dagger versus Scepter. What day it is in 2 hours? What do you mean? Oh, you mean on the drops? Helmet day. Oh no! Helmet day is the best day. Thank you for letting me know that. Though helmet days are my favorite days. Yeah, but the way I think between obsidian, let's say any scepter really, and a rune dagger. Well, rune dagger has more crit, but it has less spell damage. So the only way I think that would be more viable is if you can supplement with extra spell damage from your passive skill tree. So something like this, 20 spell damage. Is that enough? I don't think it's quite enough, to be honest with you. I think a scepter is probably still better. Is there any other spell damage nodes? Yeah, we should probably fix our passives as well. They should be straightforward.
Hello, traveler.
We don't need this. Do we run these ones? Shock chance and lightning damage and lightning penetration, lightning damage leech. I think we do want that. The only problem is like, how do we get there? When you cast a spell, arcane momentum? No, we don't need arcane. Oh yeah, okay. We definitely need this. Crit chance. We must get that one. It's too strong. Spell crit. Look, that's what we're running, so.
Hello, traveler.
We can take out from here. Then max that out. Okay, that's fine. And then Spellblade tree.
Hello, traveler.
Yeah, a lot of these are useless. Chance to gain mana. We don't need chance to gain mana. We're running mana strike main. So unfortunately we lose the health there, but that's fine. We're not going to be dual wielding. And then in here, we definitely want this crit chance one. And we can take the cold damage one. We do want the attack speed. I think that's fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. On this side, what else do we not need? This is good. This is good. This is good. These are not good. This is also not good. More ward can be solid. Vitality. Oh, here we go. That's a must-have one. Spark charge chance with lightning melee attacks.
Hello, traveler.
Okay, let's make sure we get that one.
Hello, traveler.
I just needed a few extra points just to move things around easier. Shock chance. Nah, we want more ward, I think.
Hello, traveler.
Ah, these are not amazing. We can put 1 point in here, I guess.
Hello, traveler.
Yeah, that's perfect. These are not going to be useful. Actually, they would boost up Surge, but no, we're not running melee elemental damage. Would this apply to the Surges, or sorry, Spark Charges activated by Surge? Yeah, Spark Charges is the majority of the damage. I don't want melee damage. I want Spark Charge damage. Definitely here. And then I think with the remaining, what is it, 12, 14 points, we can just spec defensively and try to hit a lot of intelligence. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do. Let's try that. And so I think we want to run a Scepter with a lot of spell critical strike chance. Maybe tier 7 spell crit and attack speed. Cast speed. Yeah, this is good. We'll go with that. Perfect. I like that one. Let's see, is there any suffix that we want? Do we even care about shock? Because I feel like we're gonna have enough shock. Stun chance is nice. But I guess it's either stun chance and shock. So might as well just go shock. Do we reroll? Yeah, we reroll. Okay, one more reroll. Man, this RNG is brutal. Okay, the RNG just kept getting worse and worse. That's pretty funny. We did like 5 rerolls and all of them were incrementally worse. But that's okay. The item is still decent. Too bad the spell crit is only tier 6, but this is still fine. So now we're at 46% spell crit. How did I get 46%? I guess with all that int. 37 int. 8 from here. 10 from here. Okay. Yeah, I'll take that. All right. So what else do we have to figure out? Ward retention is bad. We need more int. So we got the weapon, we got the helmet, we got the offhand. Let's figure out the chest piece. What is there for chest? For that, I think I'm going to pull up the website just to make sure I don't miss something. Lightning Crit with 300 mana. That one's pretty good, yeah. So let's see, we go Spellblade. First of all, the best base type. If we need, well, we need armor. So this is not bad. This is great. Crit Strike multi. Yeah. This is great. This is not bad. A little bit of water retention, but honestly, this is better. This is probably best. Crit Strike Avoid. How are we doing on Crit Strike Avoid? I'm just checking. Oh, we're at 0. Okay, yeah. Of course we're at 0. Okay, so it's one of these two is what we want for the base type. And then for the prefixes, added mana, no. You know what? We could certainly run damage dealt to mana. We should be running damage dealt to mana. Because we're going Mana Strike. Like, literally, our only skill is Mana Strike that we're going to be spamming. So we're going to have infinite mana. So we could easily run at least tier 5, maybe even tier 7. And then int, crit strike, spell crit is great, but I think we want to seal it at tier 1 and go int. Yeah, because it only goes from 50% to 87%. That is a very marginal increase to go from tier 1 to tier 5. That's like a factor of 1 point, I don't know, 1.8, not even 2 times. Whereas you look at int, it goes from 2 to 12. That's a 6x increase. Other than that, what about levels? Level of Fireball, level of Arcane, level of... Is there a level of Mana Strike? There is. Do we need level of Mana Strike? Like, if we're... Oh, we should get this one. Yeah, I don't think we need level of Mana Strike. We can just get global spell damage. Mana Strike is ranged. It's also an interesting option. If we're not running damage converted to mana instead of health, this is viable. This is not only viable, this is best in slot to pick up. In fact, I'm going to start with it, because right now we don't have damage goes to mana. Oh my god, it's a slow attack speed, hey? I guess I need to activate this one. That's better, but still. I think we need area. Definitely get a bunch of area. Oh, we can get 1% base crit, but that's whatever. We don't need crit on Mana Strike. We need crit on our spells. But definitely need to get area. So 5 points here, 3 points here. Maybe some ward gained. That's about it. Okay, so that's kind of figured out. Level of Mana Strike. I don't think we need level of Mana Strike then in that case. None of these are relevant. Lightning crit multi is not bad to seal as well. So this is a good seal tier 1 option. But I think I like the crit chance better perhaps. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So ideally we seal tier 1 spell crit. We get tier 5 int. And tier 5 damage dealt to mana. Something along those lines. If we can get tier 7 int, probably even better. So let's see if we have that. Do we have a chest piece with tier 7 int? Preferably preferably crit strike multi like you said. This is not bad. It doesn't have int, but the spell crit is nice. Yeah, these are not amazing. Okay, what about this ones? Let's see here. Yeah, these are not perfect. The crit avoid ones, if there's a good one here, we'll consider it. Mana Strike, maybe. I don't think so though. Tier 7 max Vit. If this was tier 7 max int, I'm definitely trying to get that one. Okay, so not really anything too crazy. This one is not bad. If we really need crit strike avoidance, we'll keep this in mind. But let's try to get crit strike avoidance from the rest of our items. So let's assume we're running this one. Now our crit is like 57. That's pretty good. We definitely want spell critical strike chance in the relic. So let's see if we have a tier 7 spell crit. Relics. Tier 6 with double crit. Ward on kill, not great. There's a crit multi, I think, in these relics, isn't there? 2 spell damage. I guess we'll take it if we get it. That's the only one I have. How about in here? Tier 7. With attunement. If only that was int. I would definitely take that. And this is not bad. Double crit. Cold res, poison res. This is not bad either. Let's try this. What are we at? 71%. That's not bad. We can push this. And we can re-roll those as well. Those are really bad rolls. I guess we're getting poison res. I think I'm gonna seal the cold res. Well, let me get the poison res maxed out. Ouch. Okay. So now poison res is maxed. We do want to reroll though. These are really bad rolls for the crit strike. 150 spell crit. Hell yeah. I'll take that. Now we have a choice with 22 forging potential whether to seal the cold res and get something else or upgrade the cold res. So I'm gonna keep it like this for now and see what I get eventually. For now, cold res, I guess it can use a little bit. So yeah, we'll keep this as an option. Crit went up to 73%. Very nice. Very respectable. Next, let's do boots. Boots are pretty straightforward. I think we want move speed int and then maybe cooldown reduction? Can we get cooldown reduction? This is also good though. Double armor boots is ideal for ward builds. And even though it's attunement, I will consider it. So let's consider this one. Okay, here we go. Movement speed int. Physical. Ooh, how am I like 140 phys res? Oh, okay, here we go. 67. Still though, what else is giving me? Yeah, I guess the Omnis. Oh, I know. I have phys res right here. The blessing. Yeah, you're right. Good call. Good call. So I take the blessing. It's at 110 still. All right. If I take Omnis and the blessing. Yeah, okay. I don't like taking Omnis out. It does this to me. I have to redo all of these. All right, all right, all right. Where did that take it from? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so I mean, even though we don't need the physical res, it's possible that we can seal that tier 3 physical res and go for something that is more valuable. Let's try that maybe. These are not good. Nope. Not ideal. You like my assortment of boots? Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Welcome. Yeah, see ya. See ya. Look at these beautiful boots. Movement speed int. I mean, this one's fine, but I think I want int. Attunement? That's too bad. Another physical resistance. All of these are like physical res. Hey, this one's not bad. And given that we need crit strike avoidance. Is there a tier 7 crit avoid? Yeah, here we go. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to run this one actually. Let's solve our crit avoid problem with the boots. Now we just need a tier 5 crit avoid. Multiple sets. No, I don't believe I have. I don't know if I've ever made a build using one set. I guess I did use the mage set, Villatrias. But the other sets... The only other viable set is probably Corsairs. Anyway. Okay, let's go back to what else do we need? It's starting to get together pretty good. Like, we need to max our crit avoid. And then we need to pump some armor, I believe. I think armor is a problem. Because endurance does not protect our ward. And we need something to protect our ward. Health is also a problem. 950 is a bit low. Okay, so let's try to get a ring that covers the crit avoid, a little bit of health, and lightning damage, I guess. Because I would like cooldown reduction in the belt. So what is the tier 7 that we want in the ring, actually? Health? Yeah, let's try health. Do we want necrotic res? No. Actually, yeah, we do, because we're going to swap this out. We have a lot of options, actually. These ward retention rings are nice because of that ward retention, right? You know, another option is to run it and take the health regen relic and get a bunch of ward just from your health regen and just have a little bit of extra ward to protect yourself with. Maybe. Oh, actually, int. Yeah, let's take int. If we can get tier 7 int, that's probably best. Something like this is not bad, but we want crit avoid. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, this is good. We'll take that. Even though it's freaking physical resistance again. How about in here? Is there something decent here? Int, dexterity, crit, endurance. These are not bad though. Int and mana regen. Is there a tier 7 int somewhere? You know what? I did have a really good tier 7 int. Oh, this one's nice. Yeah, this is the one for us. I think this is the one for us. Let me show you my godly ring right here. Where did it go? Am I using it on another character? I think I might be. Yeah, I think I had one with like tier 7 int and tier 6 strength. I don't know if you've ever seen such a beastly ring. I agree. The search feature is like, yeah, we should be searching tier 7 here. But we cannot. We don't need elemental resistance. Yeah, these are not ideal. Maybe a little bit of health from here. If there's like a tier 7 int. No, there is not. Tier 6 int with necrotic. Nah. No. Yeah, I think this one's probably best. A separate tab just for the tier 7s. That's not a bad idea, honestly. That's not a bad idea. I might consider that if I have the energy to to organize everything, because oh my god, does it take a lot of time. So we want crit strike avoid. Is there something we want to seal? Because we have 41 forging potential. Oh, okay, we're not going to be sealing anything. We just lost 17 forging potential. So let's get our crit strike avoidance. Max it out. That's good. That's good. Yeah, there we go. This is coming together. Max out the crit chance. And now we have a decent ring. Yeah, right? Where's that streamer luck? I need to get in contact with EHG. Tell them, guys, come on. I'm streaming. What are you doing? Where's my RNG? You know what? Does this take into account spell crit chance? Does it correctly calculate this one? It should, right? Let me just test it. 87. Sometimes these tooltips are a little bit dumb, but it should be fine. I can't. 87, 86. Okay, good. It does. Intelligence does increase it. Actually, no, never mind. It's fine. This is good as is. 73 int. That's not bad. How are we doing on defenses? Wait. We didn't need crit strike avoid in there. No, I messed it up, guys. We have 2 of them with crit strike avoid now. What a massive epic fail. We could have used that slot for something else. That's, you know what? We can make that work. What we're going to do is we're going to swap out the boots and find crit strike avoid boots, perhaps, that are tier 5. So then we just over 100%. I think we can make it work. We turn our failures into successes. That's what life is about, right? Sorry. Just a moment, 1 sec. Okay. Let's just pick the boots real quick. If these had more forging potential, I'd try for these. But they don't. Let's see, do we have something crazy good here? No. Nope. We do need the fire res as well. But also the cold res. Do I not have like tier 7 boots? Tier 7 int boots? Looks like I don't. Yeah. I don't have the perfect fitting boots. So we'll just have to make do. This is fine. A lot of armor. Good move speed. Fire res. Attunement is not int, but that's fine. Okay, so we need crit avoid from the belt. What else do we need? Do we have like hybrid health? Hybrid health? We don't? Why do all of them light up when I say health? Nah, I'm not getting the right belts here. How about this one? Oh yeah, this one's good. This one's good. We got the cooldown. We'll get crit avoid. Max it out. Oh my god. That's a lot of forging potential, dude. I was gonna seal the cooldown recovery and go for hybrid health, but with 18 FP we can't. No, I know what you mean. It doesn't recognize hybrid health, but that's... I don't think I have very many good ones, to be honest with you, for hybrid health. Okay, that's fine. 18% CDR is good. It gets our surge in a better spot. Did we bring back... Oh no, we didn't do this one. We gotta bring that back. 8 points. We gotta fix that. Okay, so that's the belt, that's the boots. Now we just need to do the gloves. And for gloves, what we want is armor shred. We're lacking armor shred. Also frailty. I think... Yeah, let's get frailty in the chalice here. Because we don't have much forging potential, and that's not a big deal. We don't need much. We just have tier 1 frailty is good enough. So we can even bump it up a bit. Look at that luck. Okay, we'll leave it at that. Because in case if I want to upgrade, or sorry, duplicate this one, the odds of sealing a tier 1 is 100% if it's exalted and if it has 3 other affixes. So sealing tier 1 is guaranteed if it's the right, like, if it's exalted and it's got 4 affixes total. So that's why I kind of like sealing tier 1s. Tier 2, it becomes lower. It's like maybe 80%. I don't know, I'm guessing. Then tier 3 might be like 60%. Tier 4 might be like 20%. I don't know. It gets progressively lower. And tier 4 is fairly low that it's a massive gamble to try and seal tier 4. So now let's find... Now that we have a frailty, we have... How much crit chance? 86 crit chance. We want attack speed and int in the gloves. Because int also gives us 2 lightning damage per int. We're running 69 int. So let's find the gloves. And find... Do we need void res? Yeah, we do. Okay. So we want int attack speed, and armor shred. Preferably armor shred. Should be tier 6. See, they're so inconsistent. Sometimes it's like armor without you, sometimes it's with you. Yeah, something like this. I wish I didn't run out of forging potential, because this is like the perfect glove. At tier 5 int and tier 5 hybrid health, that would be phenomenal. Otherwise, didn't I have some pretty good gloves on another hero? Dots are not affected by armor, yeah. But we're running spell charge. Sorry, yeah, spark charge. And that one benefits. I thought I had another armor or glove. Weren't we looking at something that looked pretty good? Anyway, I think this is what we're going to try and run. We need to do the idols still. But I have to go and take a break. I'm running a bit late. So yeah, we're going to finish this one up after a bit of a longer break for dinner and for other stuff. So I'll probably be back about 2.5 to 3 hours from now. Yeah, 2.5 to 3 hours, right around that time range. It says 5:40 up here right now. So around 8:15, 8:30 is, I'm guessing, when I'll be back. And then we can try this one out. I think it should do decent, but I can't tell. Release these prism shards. So maybe we can check what these prism shards do as well. But anyway. Yeah, so let's do that in about 2.5 hours. I'm excited to try this one out. I'll do both like monoliths and Jorah as well. You think you'll do good? It's so hard to tell, man. Like, we get at 200 spell damage here. And you know what? Because of that extra spell damage, spell lightning damage, I should have thought of this earlier, but yeah, we don't necessarily need to run a scepter because yeah, we have actually all the lightning damage we need. So we could actually run a dagger here. So we'll have to keep that in mind. Because the spell damage is not as important as I initially was thinking, because I forgot about the lightning damage per int. Oh, okay. Nice, nice. Okay, we got to test it out in a little bit. Perfect. Why is this cold damage? No, this is lightning damage. It looks... Why does it look like cold damage? Or is that some other effect going on? Anyways. Crystal sword. That's probably a good idea. I'll test that out as well. Because this is just... The spell crit is great for this though. So we'll see. Anyways, I'll be back in 2.5 hours approximately. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in a bit.